When we started this program 6 years ago, we really didn't have a methodology or a process of how we would actually help SEMA companies self-certify, do the due diligence to get ESC performance of aftermarket modified vehicles. And when you think about that, it was just coming in, the mandate was coming, the OEs had the phase-in process up until 2011. Well, as of September 12th last year, the aftermarket, your companies, you have to comply as well. So we've had a lot of great progress thanks to the SEMA Suspension Task Force. Tim Watts was a big member of that. Melanie and others really helped push us to the next level. And we're going to talk about some of those companies, but more importantly, you're going to hear from the members as well as our SEMA vehicle technology partners that develop the process to help you self-certify your vehicles. And it's pretty simple. It probably won't be NHTSA coming knocking on your door saying, show me the data. It's probably going to be something that happens in the market. Sooner or later, something will happen to the vehicles. It typically does. And that's when it hits the fan, and then they're going to say, show me that your products were in compliance with ESC. And we'll talk about some of the other technologies as well. So there's a lot there, but it's pretty simple. You cannot knowingly take the vehicle out of compliance. Vehicle comes with ESC. If it's under 10,000 pounds and it's in the U.S., it's got ESC on it today. It's as simple as that. You put larger wheels and tires, different shocks, different springs, different brakes, whatever it may be, it cannot take the vehicle out of compliance for ESC. No. Part of the process here, and this goes on all week, as you know, the vehicle dynamics is our first, always on Monday. Driving green, driving connected, driving safe, which is the vehicle dynamics, and driving cool. We got a great lineup of speakers this year, 45 speakers, 3 keynotes. Start off with Mike Helton, tomorrow president of NASCAR. Then we have Jamal Hamidi, the head of special vehicle operations at Ford. And then Neil Young will be here with his Link Volt for Thursday on the green performance. So quite a few keynotes and a lot of great speakers throughout the other forums going on the rest of the week in terms of driving green, connected, safe, and cool. You guys have seen this slide before. This is actually the last year I guess I can use it. Tom's got a version of this. I think Santosh had a version of this. We've been using this for 5 years. We actually started in 2006 when the ESC was coming into the market and the OEs had to start complying. This is the timeline of these technologies. And you look at those, we're pretty close to 2014. Almost every one of those systems and more are on board the vehicles today. And these aren't your luxury cars. Certainly the luxury cars had them first, and then they adapted down through the product development process. The Ford Fusion, one of the most technology-advanced vehicles in Ford's lineup, has just about every one of those systems on it. It's not just trucks, it's passenger cars. As you know, we did the Ford Focus through IBOC. And we had plenty of, we learned, not just raising vehicles, but lowering vehicles. And what's it do to the DNA? You'll hear Mandar talk about that. The performance and the branding of the vehicle, the ride and handling, all the things, the great things that you do to vehicles, that's what the consumer wants you to do. Well, keeping it in compliance is what we want to help you do as well. So basically, customize with confidence, as we've talked about before. And again, those are just some of the technologies. There's a lot more, Torque vectoring, you'll hear some of the folks talking about that today. A lot of cool stuff on the vehicles. Now we have a process to actually get to that. It's not just the physical components we talked about. It's engine, horsepower and torque changes, steering, the alignment, the compliance between where the vehicle is being pointed with the steering wheel versus where the vehicle is actually heading. Again, from a safety perspective, the brakes, the suspension, the wheels and tires, obviously. There's a lot there. So any of those modifications, there is a process, and we can help measure that for you through testing and the virtual analysis. And as I said, customizing with confidence. That's what we want to help you do. That's what this process is all about. And you'll hear some of the factors of cost that have gone down by, in some cases, 80 to 90% compared to when we started back in 2008 and 2009. So if you take 126 and you think of some of these other regulations coming, certainly the black box, the EDRs, electronic data recorders, all that information is being stored on the vehicles. And again, we're not talking about getting into beyond the firewall with a lot of these solutions. It's helping you develop mechanical solutions to do that. And there's a lot of great expertise on this panel to help you do that. So even though you have the presentation, the forum over the next 2 hours, We're going to give an update of what we're doing at Clemson with some of the more advanced projects. But I would welcome all of you to talk to the folks after the forum. They can show you things on a lot of the workstations we've got back here. You can have private meetings if you like, but answer your questions. Ask the questions to these folks, and they'll be able to help you answer them and get a process to help you whatever challenges or issues or opportunities, new business opportunities you may have. This is the great lineup of speakers we've got. Melanie White from Hellwig, Glenn Hard from BDS, Rich Patello, Tim Watts, Ed Brawalski, Terry Ledwidge, Tom Gillespie, Santosh, Bob Simons, Rick Darling, and Mandar Hazar. Some of the folks couldn't be here today, but I think we got plenty from what I'm looking at. So you got to get through it in 2 hours. So, but prepare to drink from the fire hose because there's a lot of great stuff coming. And again, this is for you. Ask the questions afterward. There'll be a Q&A. Mandar and Ed are going to run this. So I'm going to turn it over to my good friend Mandar Hazar right now. Mandar?
Thank you, John. As John rightly said, we have a very impressive lineup of speakers here. So since we have been in this program for around 4 to 5 years, so I thought it would be very nice if we start with a member company who has already been a part of the SEMA Vehicle Dynamics program. So we have Melanie White and Tim Watts here, and I would like to invite Melanie to share her experience with working with the SEMA Vehicle Dynamics program.
Hi, I'm Melanie White. At Hellwig Products, I feel like we're a part of this anonymous group. So hi, I'm Melanie. I'm from Hellwig Products. But we participated in the program in 2011, and we were really pleased to have a result there. We had some really great help from SEMA that we wouldn't have been able to have. SEMA put together a great program and made it very easy for us to participate in it. If you have any specific questions about the program that we went through, please come up and ask us. Really, anyone member of my team would be happy to talk about that. Without SEMA, we wouldn't have had access to these great minds. So I would really encourage you to talk to them, but also, talk to myself and Tim Watts. We were very pleased with the program. So thank you.
Thank you, Melanie. We have Tim Watts here too, so after the forum, if you have any questions, feel free. So Tim will be happy to answer any questions.